When I think of quality content and well-designed games, Roblox is not the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, no. Roblox is quite possibly the last thing, actually. And I can't say I'm surprised. Roblox games are made by small teams and sometimes even just one person with the help of random volunteers online, rather than entire teams of like 50 people on payroll making the next AAA title for over 2 years for everybody to end up hating anyway. Cough, cough, nudge, nudge. But to prove to you guys that Roblox is a cesspool of garbage and bad game design, I decided to go over most of the largest and most popular Roblox shooters that exist today. Keep in mind that I didn't go over all the Roblox shooters because I either didn't know they exist, or the footage sucked, or they weren't popular for very long. Point is, if they're conspicuous enough, then I recorded them. And as for the 12 of my viewers watching this video, don't send hate to the creators of the games featured in this video. I think that kind of goes without saying. As I've already mentioned, these games aren't made by professionals, they're just made by some motivated folks that decided to make a shooter game for their favorite childhood game, or something like that. First game is probably the most well-known, and you probably expected this one on the list first, too. I only really have one thought on this game, though. Why? Why and how is this game, like, the most played Roblox shooter on this list? It's just so freaking boring. Every game goes the same way. You spawn in, one guy gets first place for every single game, and every kill you get feels so generic and unrewarding that you could have just gone without it. This game has like no content. They have alternate game modes, but it's usually just a different list of guns for you to cycle through, which is hardly different. 90% of the time people just vote for the normal game mode anyway. The only non-repetitive content is usually in form of skins, at which point, who even cares since it's just another cosmetic for you to wear that makes absolutely zero gameplay difference besides making people die differently. Trash can kill. Who the hell decides to add a trash can as a weapon? The levels are usually just remakes of other maps in popular gaming culture that we've all seen like 600 times over before, and most of the time the maps are already from other games Valve made. When they are original though, they're usually just aesthetically interesting, but the layout sucks. The game does, however, have excellent guitar riffs for every time you get pwned to make being a total arsenal badass feel even more rewarding. And the mind-blowing voice acting, just beautiful.
Kill them all, make them suffer. They are stupid to think they will win. Nice. Wow, you blew his brains out. Nice.
The long-awaited sequel, The Typical Colors 1, and boy, what a sequel it is. Not really. It's just TF2, but worse in every way. That's really it. There aren't any friendlies or silly subclasses like in TF2. No community servers or trading, no easily likable characters or cute free-to-plays, just not entertaining in any of the ways TF2 is. Does half of the servers usually half empty in the first 5 minutes, but other than that, it's just TF2 and Roblox, because Roblox gamers are so broke they can't even afford free games. Same as TC2, pretty much exactly the same as CSGO, just designed to be worse in almost every way. I found the people that play CBRO are often experienced CSGO players that just want to pub stomp and ruin people's counter Blox gameplay, because they had ranked up enough that they couldn't pub stomp in normal CSGO. But honestly, why the hell do people play Roblox versions of free games? Like, what is the point? Just play the actual game. It's actually designed by professionals, so there's no purpose in playing the worst version of the free game. Like, the only way I can see this game being viable is if you want to play CSGO on Xbox again. But I suck at CSGO, so what do I know?
Green, what's your problem, Green? What is your problem? Missile alone ramp.
Bad business. Bad business. Bad. This game describes itself with its name, which is sad. This game is so not fun in any way. You mag dump like 25 rounds into some sweaty anime girl's face and laugh after they die because for some reason they figured they were good enough at the game they could just run at you with a knife and win. Like, people that play this game are really overconfident in their own ability to play the game and always wind up dead anyway. However, I gotta give this game some originality credits. There isn't a lot in this game that looks like it was just ripped right out of another game and made 500 times worse. Instead, they made a game with really half-assed movement mechanics and a painfully long time to kill. Seriously, movement and mag dumping are not made for each other. Having such a long time to kill with fast movement mechanics is such a bad combination. Not saying that the time to kill needs to be like State of Anarchy, which I'll talk about later on this list. It just needs to be short enough that encounters are only a few seconds long rather than a sweaty mess that looks like a generic Scout 1v1 if Scout could slide. Games like Titanfall make up for a relatively longer time to kill with decently strong bullet magnetism and weak AI cannon fodder for you to take out in case PvP is in your strong suit. Or just play the campaign because Titanfall 2 is the best FPS campaign since Halo 3. Still is. But really, this game is hard to play with any playstyle other than full auto mag dumps with pointless sweaty movement. Even shotguns are basically worthless with the garbage hit registration and the fact that they decided to make the time to kill so freaking long. So Modern Warfare players, eat your heart out. And if it weren't for the last game on this list, this would definitely be the worst Roblox shooter in this whole video. Actually pretty impressive on a technical scale. I mean, the level design is just so good for a Roblox shooter. I mean, look at this, it looks so good. Plus the layout actually caters to the movement and gameplay of the game. It's pretty well designed. But aesthetically, it's pretty shameless about the fact that it's a modern Doom clone, so it cancels out. But it's stuck with a more old school deathmatch version of boomer shooter multiplayer. I didn't mind either of the modern Doom games multiplayer, but people didn't like what they did with either of them for some reason, so I think this game is more what people had in mind for Doom though. Either way, I enjoyed this game. But in short, it's Doom in aesthetic, but Quake in spirit. Not bad. A for effort. Good job, guys. Yeah, I really don't have any thoughts on this game. It's a pretty shameless COD clone and kind of sucks at it. I mean, just look at these animations. This game also has a zombies game mode, which is more interesting than the base game, but it's just as much a shameless clone as the base game. Okay, I know this is a role-playing game, so the complaints about balance and stuff doesn't really apply, but I mean, they could really make an improvement on the AI. Hell, they could do anything to this game. I remember hoping for the longest time that they would add an F.N.G to the game, because the A10 was super cool and awesome for roleplay reasons and even for gameplay, and was a super great way to encourage players to grind for that 5-star rank. Which I did, and it was worth it until I got bored of the game. But instead of adding a badass F.N.G to the game and another rank for people to go for, so there's a reason for people to grind more, instead they decided to remove the A10. Why? How come in the past year that you could have updated your game, all you did was vault the only jet instead of adding some badass new ones? I mean, we've been on the same exact major update for over a year now, so it's pretty obvious the devs don't really care anymore past adding another generic new assault rifle every 6 months, if even that. I think this might be part of the reason the community is dwindling, but the Black Hawk Rescue Mission devs really need to step up their game, else their game winds up completely empty real soon. But here's some cool edited RP bits.
Get out of here! Get lost!
Alright, shoot those guys. That's the priority.
Hurry, 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 hurry! Taking too much damage, I gotta go. You guys keep dying.
I have this shit gun.
My setup is literal wires.
What's the good one? What's the good gun?
I have to save Mario and Luigi as an emergency extraction.
Oh, and leave me!
Okay, and he just died on the spot as soon as I revived him.
No.
Because the mission failed. I need you guys to get an emergency helicopter. Black Hawk Rescue Mission also has a raid mode, which is the first time ever, not just on Roblox shooter, but Roblox, I have ever seen someone try to make a full-on scripted sequence campaign style game mode. Pretty ambitious, but there isn't much to say about it. But then we have the 5v5 multiplayer, which is just, man, I don't even know where to start with this game mode. It's just so bad. So bad. It's supposed to be like Rainbow Six Siege, like Operation Scorpion, which isn't on this list. But it fails at so many things to such an incredible degree. So many times where I've had an encounter where I would just unload into some guy and kill someone, yet whenever someone rears a corner for like 1/10 of a second, they will instantly kill me. Like one frame, like that. I mean, look at this clip. I clearly hit that guy in the face more than once, and he just fucking crawls back in his little hole and peeks out for a second and instantly kills me. How can anyone explain this? This game is awesome. I only have a handful of complaints, but this game has so much potential. They only lowered the time to kill to be about the time to kill of State of Anarchy, to make the AR-15 and AK-74 more viable and encourage a slower playstyle amongst players. Then this game's combat would be perfect. The only other complaint I have is the fact that the mission objectives are in a horizontal line, which makes every game go like one team captures every objective and overextends to the enemy team's spawn area and spawn camps. It ruins the game for pretty much everyone when people overextend for spawn kills, and also makes the outside parts of the maps completely useless. They made the objectives vertical to the spawn areas, or even diagonal. It would give the whole rest of the map a lot more purpose, make overextended spawn camping a lot more difficult to do, since the closer objective will likely be more difficult for the leading team to capture over the course of the round. Also, I don't know if there's any more maps other than the warehouse one that you get pretty much every round, besides this F.N.G map, which is awesome, ignoring the fact that the objectives are, once again, perpendicular to the spawn areas. But other than that, this game is awesome. The customization was the main focus of the game's design, which is why I think lowering the time to kill would make custom builds like precision builds more viable, and people might quit thinking that they can just full auto across the sight line and get a free kill. It might even contribute to discouraging spawn camping. Speaking of the customization, you can really make some crazy shit in this game. I'm gonna call it, "What are you doing, you sick fuck?" Alright, you aren't ready for this. You are not ready for this.
That's it. Oh my fucking god! How did you do that?
You aren't ready.
Jesus Christ! This is just...
Oh my god, dude. This thing takes up like half of my screen. You can't use any of the sights. This thing is unusable. Oh my... If Deadline wasn't the best game on this list, then this game most certainly is. State of Anarchy is a Tarkov clone, and I don't like Tarkov. It makes me too tense and is too unforgiving for underperforming. It's hard to perform when Tarkov is a mainstream game with thousands of players that play it every day. Plus the stupid-ass timer pressuring me on every raid, not for me. But this game is a much more casual take on Tarkov. Plus, with the larger Robloxian hitboxes, the game is just generally more enjoyable for casual players. So if you like Tarkov's gameplay and you think the premise is cool, but you don't like how stressful it is, then grab some buddies and have some fun, because this game is for you. But really, if Deadline used this game's time to kill, it would be Peace on Earth. Oh my god. What is wrong with your arms? Your arms are all messed up. They're all like sticking upwards. Alright, we gotta go down and do that.
Wow!
Oh god, what's happening?
Alright. Secret room.
Did that guy kill you?
Yep.
No! I gotta get the ammo! Open the fucking case!
I got killed by some wolf.
What?
What?
Leader of the pack.
I got killed by.
I don't know about
So-
leader.
Ow, my eye! Fuck!
He said hi. He was like,
Wow, I freaking sniped that guy. Like a mile away and I killed him. Disappear. Oh my god. Get over here. Where is he?
He's in the cave. He's in that one cave. Oh god, I don't know where it is. I'm
What? No, like, where? That's not helpful.
Is West 265.
Ow!
Dude, this
Don't worry
freaking
about a foul.
submissive wolf guy's out for you.
Get down! We're taking fire! Ow! It's Subwolf again! God! I hate submissive wolf.
He's like nothing had. Okay, we're actually gonna leave right now. Gonna leave the game, so just leave.
Fuck! I just got good stuff! No! I just got good stuff!
Nope, I'm gonna stay in this game because this game would be. No, I'm probably gonna get killed by Subwolf. Okay, now I'm leaving. I just missed a shot. I left. Take him out. I'm out of there.
Oh, looks like they changed it. Like they updated it. It's not like a big cave anymore. It's like there's train tracks.
there's a dead rat and a medic bag.
I just found the SCP secret laboratory, guys. Come over here.
I'm gonna take him and call him Jimmy.
I don't care about Jimmy. Just come over here.
Right?
Get over here right now.
There's a dead rat. I'm
Sam,
gonna
I
take
swear
him
to
and
God,
call him
I
Jimmy.
swear to God, if you don't get over here right now, I'm going to shoot you. Alright, guys, get ready for the grand reveal. We're going into the laboratory. Guys, stop that! Okay, we're entering the laboratory.
Oh, it's the Call of Duty zombie sound!
Today.
Alright, well, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here, so I'm gonna.
No! I'm trapped.
How are you trapped? Just open the door.
I can't
Aww.
actually leave. I'm stuck here forever.
Just press the
I
button.
can't open the door.
Just press the button.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Aiden, do you still have Jimmy?
I'm lagging so bad.
Okay, now I'll stand.
Okay.
Everybody's running sideways now.
Oh, here's the real laboratory. Where they keep
Wait,
the.
this guy loved his Kool-Aid.
It's not Kool-Aid, that's blood, Sam.
Dude, what's up
Which
with
one,
this guy in
Sam?
Tetra?
You're the SCP expert. Which one goes here? Sam, which one?
Shy guy?
Me.
He was the SCP the whole time!
No, Jimmy!
What? He's not. I just shot him. He's
I've
not-
done that before too.
This guy.
No, ow, ow.
What is he doing?
You.
Oh my god. Freaking Aiden just spawned right in my face. He's not.
No.
How is this man?
What is Sam?
I don't. How?
Okay, just do it already.
Alright, well.
Come on!
Shut Shut up. Alright, now that we're all together, finally together, so there's only one thing I should do. So much better. What? That was depressing. I don't even know how you failed to kill me there.
He was the SCP all ago!
Let me tell you something. I really didn't want to play this game. I really did not want to record footage for this game. But I can't make a retrospective video on Roblox shooters without mentioning the Roblox shooter. This one started it all. The whole Roblox shooter uprising back in 2015. The game is perhaps the most notorious Roblox shooter of all time. So if you thought for a second that I was going to make this video without mentioning Phantom Forces, then boy are you in for a treat. I don't even know where to start with this game, so I guess I should just start with the gameplay. The gameplay is fine. For a Roblox shooter, it's decently balanced. I know a lot of people would argue, but that's the hard-to-swallow reality of the game. The map's design is more focused on the layout rather than the looks, which I can respect, but the layout of the map is definitely more important than the way it looks. But even the layout of a lot of these maps aren't very good. Warehouse is garbage, every map that looks like a construction zone is awful. Craneside is good for capture the flag, but absolutely asinine on every other game mode, because the team that spawns on the gas station side of the map gets vaporized by the enemy team that has control of the whole map. And don't get me started on Desert Storm, or Metro, but Rabbit and Blackside are fine, but that's only because they're maps from Battlefield 4. Yeah, they aren't even original. Blizzard is okay. Jungle's revamped map has a good atmosphere, but could do with some fog to improve the atmosphere even more. Rig is pretty decent CTF map, and mediocre everything else map. And Suburbia is probably the best map in the game since it's well balanced by the fact both sides are exactly the same. I think a better description of Suburbia, though, would be like the CTF2 fort of Phantom Forces. Some of the maps and testing look cool, though, but I'm not going to be around to try them out. The guns are usually pretty much the same if they're full auto, but occasionally certain guns have other uses. The customization is better than just adding a scope and suppressor to your gun. They have ammo conversions, and you can change the stock and barrel length of certain guns and stuff, so it gets the job done, even if those attachments don't really change a whole lot. On the other hand, I found that what gun you use speaks most about not only who you are as a player, but who you are as a human being. I found the meta amongst sweaty players to usually be the M16A3, unless they're higher level, then they use the C7A2. And I know all of my gun nuts watching are probably face-palming right now by the fact that they just heard me bring up the fact that they have the exact same gun in the game twice. For all of you that say it's an M16A2, shut the fuck up, because Phantom Forces weapon descriptions are probably the least accurate way to accrue knowledge of a certain gun. Other sweaty metaguns include the Colt Model 633, the Honey Badger, and the MP5K if they're smurfing. And if they're sniping, it's always the Hikate 2 or the M107, because, you know, it's not the BFG-50, so obviously it requires skill, right? But the BFG-50 doesn't take skill to use. Yeah, right. Those guns are all part of the unholy trinity, the 50s. Unless it's a shotgun, these guns will get the most complainers and the most rage out of any player of any skill. Using these weapons instantly means you are subhuman trash with no life and that you might as well hang yourself on a tree for being so evil. You motherfucker, you goddamn piece of shit, degenerate filth. And there's one thing I hate about Phantom Force's progression system. Why are most of the good, reliable, powerful weapons unlocked past level 50? The progression in this game is not fast enough that even my 1.5 KDR looking ass only barely reached level 49 while recording this. I by no means play this as much as your average level 100 player, but I should still have most of the game's unlocks by now. Especially considering the game has over 150 guns, probably near 200 now. And you have to reach super high levels just to unlock the newest gun recently added to the game. That, or you can spend over 1,700 Robux, which is equal to roughly $85 US, just to get the M107, so you can compete with the semi-auto one-shot god on the other team, without having to dump hundreds of hours into Phantom Forces. And I know that you might be thinking, but Tic Tac, the C7 has lower base DPS than the M16, and the accuracy advantage is hardly even noticeable. In which I reply, good point. Why do the people that did play hundreds of hours just to reach level 128 to get the stupid Canadian M16 have to play hundreds of hours to get a debatably inferior gun to the M16A3? The only advantage that this gun has is that it's barely more accurate and has only 0.1 second shorter reload speed. Empty and tactical. Why put basically the exact same gun into the game just to use it as a filler for higher level players? The M16A3 has less recoil displacement, higher damage output with the exact same muzzle velocity, better suppression, better penetration, and better hipfire accuracy. You're just ripping off the players that did spend the time to play your game a bunch for a worse version of a gun that you already have. In short, the whole damn progression system is not only incredibly flawed by the fact that the good guns are only given to the higher level players, ridiculously high levels at that, rather than being evenly distributed or doing no more than offering players alternative play styles. Also flawed in the fact that players that have dumped hours upon hours of their life into this game might also get some useless junk that hardly makes a difference in the long run. So it's just a struggle of getting an overpowered gun here and there, with super weak pieces of junk crammed in between. I really don't know how people put so many hours into this game that they can max out one account, then still have it in them to smurf, because they would rather redo everything than have the whole entire game sandbox to play with at all times. Which brings me to my next subject of this game. Oh my god. The community. This part was saved for last because I have a lot to say about this game's community. This is the worst community for any game ever. Complainer, whiny, sweaty lowlifes that do nothing but play on their various maxed out Phantom Forces accounts, bragging about their 93.5 KDR at the end of every match, and just generally being a toxic piece of shit. As I already mentioned, use any gun that has one-shot kill potential, and they will complain about it in chat if you kill them once with it and ruin their perfect 68.0 KDR. The Discord server is nothing but people talking about their gun builds and their amazing games where they got a 600 kill game or some shit like that for the millionth time because they don't play anything else. Bragging about how many kills you have on their favorite gun, along with the occasional "you're just bad" here and there, which is more or less just the in-game chat in a nutshell, only the in-game chat is worse. Just why is this community so fucking garbage? And it's like every player is a human copy-paste, so fucking irritating. Alright, look. I know I'm being a little harsh. I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but I will admit, I have noticed the community doesn't have as many of these players now as they have matured a little more. But really, please, if you are like this, just stop. This game has some pretty apparent flaws, but its most apparent flaw is in its community. There's always that one guy that just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. How about we talk about something you should be complaining about? Like, stop complaining about the shotguns, stop complaining the unholy trinity of 50s, and start complaining about the G3 and M60. These guns are so bullshit. Like, you just shoot in someone's general direction and they just get fucking vaporized.
Yes, this all looks nice.
Okay, well, there's all of them, or most of them. So, yeah, World of Roblox shooters. Some good, some bad, some ugly. But the fact of the matter is that these games are not made by pros, just small groups of volunteers and stuff. Look, if I talk trash about your favorite Roblox shooter, then honestly, I don't care. If you liked one of the games I talked about negatively in here, then that's good for you, but just don't complain about it, because I'm probably not even going to acknowledge it. Because, again, I don't care. Otherwise, I want you to take note that I've worked really hard on this video, and I want to get to maybe 250 subs by the end of the year. So, if you enjoyed watching, I want you to like the video, and I want you to subscribe and share. I plan on making more videos like these, so if you can help me boost my sub count so more people can see those, that would be awesome. Maybe even do the notification bell thing if you personally want to see more of these. Anyway, hope you had fun. Thanks, and goodbye.
Ha 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 ha!